So again, thank you, Jamie, and thank you to everyone for attending today. Good afternoon. As of today, we are at 272 cases here in Lafayette Parish on a base of 6,800 tests. Sadly, we are also reporting one more fatality today for a total of 7. Our rate of confirmed cases to tests is about 4%, which is among the lowest in the state. That statistic is a little misleading since some of our local testing load is from surrounding parishes. And while the confirmed cases are allotted to those parishes, the number of tests remain part of this statistic. In any event, our relatively low rate of positive tests is an encouraging sign that our social distancing is having a beneficial impact. Based on the statements from the national briefing yesterday, there is some cause for cautious optimism in national tracking. It's starting to look like the nation may be on a path to avoid the worst case scenario in terms of public health impacts. The message from President Trump, Vice President Pence, and our medical experts is that we need to keep doing what we are doing as part of the 30 days to slow the spread guidance from the CDC. We also received some encouraging news from the governor yesterday, suggesting that our social distancing efforts are helping. From the best information available, we are still experiencing substantial increases in confirmed cases. But if the data from the next few days continues the current trend, we may see the rate of increase starting to slow, suggesting that peak infection is near. Of course, these computer models have many assumptions and the data changes daily. So we cannot become complacent. We need to continue diligently following social distance guidelines. As a reminder, if you need to be screened to determine whether you should be tested, please call 311 and press 1 to speak with a medical professional. Yesterday, we had a total of 292 calls, plus 117 callers who listened to the recorded message regarding testing criteria at the Cajun Dome. I want to thank our healthcare partners at SCP Health and Lafayette General who are providing personnel for handling these calls. Since we began this effort on March 19th, we have fielded 5,909 calls to the 311 call center to speak with medical professionals. Call volumes are steady, indicating that this is still a valuable and necessary resource for our people. On the economic front, LIDA continues to field 311 calls regarding assistance for employers and employees. And I want to encourage our business owners to take advantage of these programs. Please, do not be shy. I know that we're proud people, but this is what these programs are here for. They're here to help. The Paycheck Protection Program is of particular interest. It can help with operating expenses and keeping workers paid. If the funds are used for their stated purpose, these loans are forgivable. In other words, you don't have to pay them back. For small businesses applying for economic injury loans, these are long-term, low-interest loans up to $2 million. The SBA is still working through some issues with commercial lenders, and this program represents a massive expansion of what they normally do. So please be patient and please be persistent. Also remember that this federal response is unprecedented. It's a massive, multi-trillion-dollar national effort, scaling up systems in real time to meet the need. It requires working with banking regulators in all 50 states and thousands of commercial lenders. We can expect some glitches along the way. For those who have become unemployed and are applying for benefits, please be patient and keep trying. The number of claims being filed is many times larger than the normal volume. And again, persistence is the key. On a personal note, I have to say, I am very proud. I'm feeling very proud. We okay back there?
Very, very proud.
I'm proud of you for holding that flag. Okay. But on a serious note, I am proud, and we have a lot to be proud of. I'm proud of our first responders, especially our frontline healthcare personnel who are going above and beyond for our people. I'm proud of our essential LCG personnel who are coming to work every day to keep our city and parish government functioning. I am proud of our national and state leaders who are balancing our response to both the public health and economic impacts of this emergency. And I am also proud of our local media, who for the most part are working diligently in these challenging circumstances to bring timely, accurate information to our communities, and that is very honorable. Most of all, I am proud of the people of Lafayette Parish and the people of Acadiana. We are stepping up for each other, as we always do in emergencies. It is truly inspiring. I feel humbled and blessed to serve as your Mayor President. As I've said before, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It is a test of our perseverance and of our endurance, and in some instances, our patience. We will adapt. We will overcome, as we have at every critical juncture in our history. So together, we will achieve victory over this virus. Let's please take a moment of silence to pray for those who have passed away due to this deadly virus. Please join me. Thank you. I have time for a few questions. Any questions of me?
Josh, are y'all looking at better projections for bed and ventilator capacity in our region? Do you know? I mean, I gotta think the governor's saying they're not going to break capacity in New Orleans. Better here?
Yeah, so the question was in regards to basically ICUs, ventilators, critical supplies to meet the demand, the need. I will say this, I'm on the phone constantly with GOSEP and our local Lafayette OSEP offices, also with Dr. Tina Stefanski, who is the regional director for OHP, and then also the governor's office, who has been extremely helpful in making sure that we have the supplies needed to fight and to combat this enemy, this invisible enemy. I will tell you this though, Andrew, I have no immediate concerns that we will lack the supplies that we need. My confidence is based on the communications that I've had with state and regional leaders. We also have a very solid medical task force, again led by Dr. Stefanski and other physicians. Dr. Doug Clément, our Lafayette medical director, has been instrumental in making sure that we have what we need. So as the demand, as the need escalates, just know that we have a plan in place and that we will take care of our people. Any other questions of me? Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure I understand. Early on, you said the 4% test rate confirmed among the lowest in the state, and it's a little misleading because some of the tests conducted here were from people from other parishes.
Yes. So whenever, and thank you, Claire. So the test that I referenced earlier, whenever someone takes a test inside Lafayette Parish, that number is counted to the numbers of tests that are calculated for our parish. And then when the positive result returns, that positivity rate is accounted for in the other parish. So that's kind of where the misleading facts came in. But our positivity rate is still extremely low. But for our listeners out there, it's low because we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're exercising social distancing. We're washing our hands frequently, trying our best not to touch our face, not hugging and shaking hands. Continue to exercise common sense disciplines, and we will continue to have this low positive rate. But we have to have cautious optimism, but continue to exercise common sense, and we will. Some other statistics, just to put that in perspective, Louisiana as a state, we're looking at 21.8% at a positive rate. Orleans Parish, 24.6%. To put that in comparison, where we're at 4% to a parish that's twice our size, East Baton Rouge is at 17.2%. So again, Acadiana, again, Lafayette Parish, continue to do what we're doing. Our business owners continue to exercise common sense. I say this all the time. We don't need the government to tell us how to exercise common sense. We don't need the government to tell you to stay 6 feet away and mandate that to you. We have common sense, and we have exercised that, and that now we're seeing some of the fruits of our discipline. Any other questions of me? Yes, sir.
governor reported yesterday, obviously, that there was concern that this was hitting the African American community particularly severely. So, have they communicated to you all yet whether that disparity is playing out locally in Lafayette Parish? And then second to that, is that something that you can address, say, through the Office of Foreign Affairs?
Yes. Did you pick his Christian's question? Oh, good. Good question. I don't have the statistics broken down per race or to gender for that to that in that regard, but I'm interested to see that. I will say this: we take this very serious, no matter what ethnic background, what race, what gender you are. We see the need to protect all of our people, and I know the governor shares in that, and so does the president, and that's what we're doing. I've heard some theories that maybe hypertension is higher in certain areas in our city, in our parish, in our state, and maybe that's attributed to the higher death rate. But that's all speculation, and I would defer to our medical task force and Dr. Stefanski to answer those types of questions.
We saw the governor sort of take back some of his requests for ventilators. Are we still searching at the same vigor as we were, say, a week ago, now that we're seeing the projections go to a further date?
We're still preparing for the worst and hoping for the best, and that's my duty as a leader. You know, and for the citizens that I'm so blessed to lead, they hopefully you can take comfort in that, knowing that our team, our plan, this administration, coupled with the governor's office, coupled with the president's office, is working very hard to make sure that if that worst case scenario comes to play, God forbid, we're prepared for it. So that's why communication is key. And again, I want to thank the governor's office for being so communicative with our office and working to give us the information that we need to be able to make decisions. So supplies, ventilators, ICU beds, we never lose. There's not a moment of the day that I'm not thinking about what's our next step. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Were officials from LDH able to give you all a better understanding of what happened with our cases on Saturday when we lost like dozens, but there was no real clear delineation of how many were duplicates and how many new cases were actually added? Did they provide that info to y'all?
Yeah, Andrew, no, the only information I have is the same thing that was provided over the weekend, and Jamie did a good job of communicating that to the public. So there was a duplication, my understanding, there was a duplication in recorded cases on the private lab sector, the private lab side, and we've rectified that. So these numbers seem to be a lot more accurate, and I think it was an honest mistake. Any other questions? All right. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for your time. I'll now bring Jamie Angel up to give us some additional information for our parish. May God bless you.
This wind is not going to cooperate today. All right. And I do have some follow-up answers to some of the questions you all had from yesterday, so I'll address those as well. To go back to the question about the duplications, it's not clear if all of those were from one particular day or if they were aggregated from throughout the process. So once they switched over that system is when they caught the duplication error. So that's likely why we don't have any sort of clarity on which days those tests were duplicated. Does that give you a little bit better of an answer?
Every bit of new information helps.
All right. All right. So again, for COVID-19 text alerts, you can text LA COVID to 67283. Governor put that out last week sometime. Yes, LA COVID to 67283. And that will give you statewide alerts. You can actually sign up for LDH alerts, emails, phone calls. It'll provide that information to you automatically. Like the Mayor President said, we did not see a big increase from yesterday to today, just 12 cases. But we, again, have 272 people in Lafayette Parish infected. This is not the time to think of the positive cases lowering, all right? This is the time for us to think about what we can do to keep them going down. We know from our medical team task force and other healthcare workers that we are going to continue to see cases. And just yesterday, Dr. Tina Stefanski said they're very concerned in Acadiana, especially seeing more cases in some of those rural areas. So we can't be complacent. We haven't quite hit our peak yet in Lafayette Parish. So when going to the store, one buggy, one person, no other members of the household should go. Try to go once a week. Try to leave your children at home as well. We understand that there are working parents out there. There are some options. When you leave your home for essentials, stay away from others at least 6 feet. Wash your hands often, sanitize often, don't touch your face. When you touch a surface where someone has sneezed or coughed, and touch your face, if that person was a carrier, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth, you can put yourself at risk. I know we repeat a lot of this every day, but it's important. They're all common sense things we must practice to continue and continue doing. Some of those alternatives to shopping in stores for folks who may be older or may not have any other method of doing that, like single parents. Rouse's, Walmart, Target, Super One, all offering curbside pickup. You can have your groceries or other essentials delivered. You can download apps like Instacart, Shipt. Waiters now offering grocery delivery. And for any other local businesses or any business in general that are offering these services, please reach out to us, let us know, and we'll be glad to share that with the community. The more information like that we can put out to keep people from having to go out, the better. We're going to reiterate employers questioning what to do if your employee tests positive for COVID-19. First, those employees should notify their employer. As DHH does case investigations and finds a cluster, they'll notify employers if their location tends to be a cluster. And employers can call 211 for guidance or the local public health office. That's 262-5311, 262-5311. Reminder, the Cajun Dome screening site will resume operations tomorrow, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. We will be closed Thursday and Good Friday. We will reopen Saturday, same time, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Again, high risk folks, those who are above the age of 60 and showing symptoms, and any law enforcement, fire officials, public safety officers, and healthcare professionals. Again, if you're showing symptoms, by all means, call 311, dial option 1, and then go to the Cajun Dome screening site if you need to. As far as 311, yesterday medical staff answered 292 calls plus 117 callers who listened to a recorded message. I know the mayor president put that information out already. As always, that call center is open 24 hours a day. If you're concerned about being pre-screened, if you live outside the parish, 337-534-TEST, 337-534-TEST. Again, 211 is the number to call for all other questions concerning COVID-19. Now, the 311 LIDA call center. Since opening that call center last Monday for business owners and employers, nearly 500 people have called the line for guidance from the Lafayette Economic Development Authority. Today, 39 people called in. 64% needed help with unemployment insurance information. 5% were seeking SBA loan information, and 3% were looking for work. Now, LIDA has dozens of job opportunities listed on its website, lafayette.org/helpwanted. That's lafayette.org/helpwanted. And the number of employers hiring are added to the list often. Yesterday, I believe I told you the number was 28. Today, there's 31 employers listed as looking for employees. So by all means, again, lafayette.org/helpwanted if you're laid off, if you need work. It's a good resource for anyone who's unemployed. We are still giving out paper copies of that information from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's here at City Parish Hall, 705 West University. And a note for business owners, the only way to check the status of SBA EIDL loan applications, SBA EIDL loan applications, is by calling 1-800-659-2955. 800-659-2955. Those of you reporters, you haven't been to the RoboShow Center during our lunch distribution, we invite you to go check that out. And the need is evident. 45 minutes today, from 10:45 to 11:30, 350 meals were handed out. The effort helps to fill the gap for those in the service, hospitality, and retail industries. Between Lafayette Police, the Fire Department, Parks and Rec, the Mayor President, the CAO, it's a pretty well-oiled machine, and we invite you to check it out. Meals resume again tomorrow, same time. 10:45 is about when they've been starting because the cars have been lining up so early. Since starting this last Tuesday, it's been a week, we've handed out 3,200 meals. So that's a lot going back into the community, and as of right now, we don't have a definitive end date for that. So we'll continue to do it as long as we can, thanks to that Breeze Dream Foundation. A reminder about transit. We want to remind everyone about changes to those routes and schedules. Lafayette Transit System is running the night owl routes during the day. There are 4 routes. I believe there's brown, red, green, and blue. Please make note of those routes. If you need bus service, familiarize yourself with the routes and the times to make sure you're at the correct bus stop on the side of the road for that route. We've got notifications that folks were on the wrong side of the road and the bus did not pick them up. So please be aware of those routes. Great story in the Advertiser about a birthday party for a 4-year-old. Very, very cute story. Couldn't have a birthday party, so they had a parade for him. And some of our firefighters got their fire engines out there and made his day. So a little bit of good news. We all need some of that right now. Go Mo, a new effort we started. We're starting, again, we're still inviting those folks to reach out to us. If you want to be part of the vendor list to provide that service, you can email Warren Abity. He's Traffic, Roads, and Bridges Director, WABADIE at LafayetteLA.gov, WABADIE at LafayetteLA.gov. HUD grants. I learned a lot about grants yesterday. So, what that $800,000+ grant was a CBDG grant, Community Development Block Grant. That money is not used for homeless services, it's used for low income. So it will be placed on the upcoming council agenda. They will also have the public hearing for it, I believe, next Monday, virtually. Again, we are expecting more of these allocations to come in, and they will go through the proper budgeting process through the councils, and then it will be further determined where that money or those monies will go. We are also expecting that there will be some emergency solution grant money coming to the state. The governor's office and the state dispersed that money directly to the nonprofit sector, and that money is what can be used to provide those homeless services, whether it be renting out hotel rooms or standing up some sort of program for that. And they are expecting a nice amount of money to come from that as well. And I believe that's it. That's all I got. Any questions?